I was a lawyer for 22 years. 22. I was doing it before most of the people watching this were born, and I kept doing it while you grew up, graduated, started your own careers. 22 years is not a chapter, it's a whole book. And I closed it to become a screenwriter. From scratch. No credits, no connections, and no idea what I was doing. When I told people, they called it brave. And I understood why. It's the word you reach for when someone does something you yourself would never do. The respect was genuine. So was the relief it was me and not them. Brave is generous. What it actually felt like from the inside was the version of me that kept showing up to something that wasn't mine anymore and had gotten very, very tired. And tired eventually beats scared. That's not bravery, that's math. What nobody tells you about starting over from scratch at something you love is that the craft doesn't care what you did before. 22 years of law means nothing to a blank page. The blank page is not impressed. The blank page is just waiting. Being a beginner at something you care about is a completely different experience than being a beginner at something you don't. When I was a first-year associate, the stakes were someone else's. Here, the stakes are entirely mine, which is terrifying, and also the only way I know how to work. Then someone offers you the dream job. Not a stepping stone, it's the job. And here's where the story takes a turn I did not see coming. And I wrote it. Because it turns out that when you spend 22 years really inside the law, not watching it on television, inside it, and then you spend the next chapter writing stories about power and institutions and the people who corrupt them from within, at some point those two things stop being separate. They become the same thing. You don't leave the law behind, you bring it with you. And suddenly it's an asset in a room where nobody else has it. The people who call it reckless were imagining a door closing. What actually happened was the door closed and I found a window. And the window turned out to have a much better view. I did find a way to do both, just not in the way anyone meant when they asked. Not as a compromise, not as a hedge, as a synthesis. The law is in every character I write who knows how to argue a case they don't believe in. It's in every institution I put on the screen and make corrupt from the inside out. It's in every scene where someone in a room full of power says something that sounds reasonable and means something else entirely. 22 years in a courtroom or in a negotiating conference room, and I thought I was practicing law. Turns out I was taking notes.